Right, what is going on YouTube? Now, welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be all about eating, all about nutrition, all about fuel and for performance. I've done this 3 times and I've still not got it right. I'm just going to roll with it. Yeah, performance. Fuel and for performance and all of that good stuff. So, essentially what I'm going to do here, I will not be looking down, but I will be looking down. I'm not ignoring you, I'm not camera shy. It is just because I've written some notes. Now, a lot of you recently in the DMs have been asking, do I take into consideration meal timing? Do I take into consideration like carbs and nutrition around training, trying to make you feel the best during some of the brutal sessions that we do at Sculpt, in comparison and perhaps training just to look a little bit better. And there are a few things, a few guidelines, a few little rules that I sort of do on a daily basis that are second nature to me now, but you could hopefully take something away from this and make yourself not just look better and improve your shape with a basic calorie goal on a daily basis, but perhaps try and apply this nutrition so you perform a little bit better, so you feel a little bit better, perhaps your mood is a little bit better. I've pretty much written out here what an average day is like for me, an average day if I train in the morning, and an average day if I train more later, afternoon and evening. Okay, let's get cracking. This is specific to me, just to make that clear before I ramble on and start getting into this video. What I would suggest you do is the amount and the quantities, the calories that I have are irrelevant for me because they're not gonna make you make progress. So that is the first point I wanna make super clear. Work out your calories, work out your macros. You can do this with the nutrition blueprint on my website. There is a lot out there. Make sure you've got that nailed because that is step 1. My goal is to just maintain exactly where I'm at. I'm not looking to like gain muscle, gain weight. I'm not looking to lose body fat, body weight. I just want to feel good when I train and fuel my sessions. And pretty much for me to maintain exactly what I do and work well in the gym, I will be anywhere from the 3,200 to 400 calorie mark. Okay, so that is my average daily intake. Some is a little bit towards the higher end, that 3,400 depending on the session. Some is a little bit on the lower end. Let's talk about my routine. So the first thing that I do is wake up in the morning, obviously, like all of us, at around the sort of 5 a.m. to 6:30 mark. It will be anywhere in that time, depending on what sort of work schedule I've got. And the first thing I do is get up and smash 1 litre of water. Now, I do this without fail, and I think it has a massive factor. For one, you wake up in the morning, sometimes you think you're hungry, and it might just be that you're dehydrated from something you ate the night before, or dehydrated in general. And I think that water is king. You need to do that. Okay, it's something that I added to my routine. Freezing cold glass of water curbs the appetite, makes you feel great. 1 litre, just bang it in. Let's move on to meal 1. Now, meal 1 is basically determined on whether I train in the morning or the evening / afternoon. Okay. Now, all of the meals are gonna be pushed and pulled around depending on this. So, if I know that I'm having a later session in the day, so it could be anywhere from like 2 to 4 o'clock, say, and that's when I'm training. Meal number 1, breakfast time, that's our first meal, will be eggs, probably like 3 to 4 eggs, a couple of slices of bacon, or hex sausages on a bagel, on toast, on some sort of bread. And yeah, so that is what I would class as a slightly more high protein, higher fat breakfast. Now, if I'm gonna train in the morning time, anywhere from the sort of 10 to 12 p.m. mark, I would say that most of my breakfasts, if that is the case, will be a little bit different, and they would be what I would class as a high protein / high carb, low fat breakfast. And that would be more of your protein porridge, your protein oats, anywhere from like 80 to 90 grams of oats, banana, protein powder, blueberries, you know the drill, blueberries, strawberries, apple even. And that is gonna be a little bit more of high and low GI carbohydrates to try and fuel my training session in the morning. However, going back to that breakfast number 1, and the reason I would opt for a more higher fat breakfast and higher protein is because there is no need to, 1, fat satisfies you for longer in terms of hunger, 2, there is no need to use a big chunk of my carbohydrate sources earlier in the day if I'm not going to train earlier in the day. So after that, if I've had the high carb one because I'm training in the morning, the next thing to do would be to train, okay? So I'll be training from like 10, 11 a.m. for about 90 minutes. Yeah, from about the 90 minutes mark. So if I've done that, the post-workout meal will be something that is mixed. It has little fat, higher carb, higher protein meal, some veggies. So that could be a staple lunch, whether I get it out or whether I've cooked it in prep, would be some sort of meat sauce, so like chicken or beef or turkey mince or something like that. A carbohydrate sauce like pasta, like noodles, like rice. Okay, so sometimes I prep that. Sometimes it could look like from one of the local restaurants that I feel is a bit more nutritious. So even a Subway, a foot-long Subway with turkey breast and ham or chicken tikka, it could be a chicken and rice and broccoli meal from a Tupperware, anything like that, and that's going to be my post-workout meal. Now, if I haven't trained in the morning on this side of the scale, it will still pretty much be the same meal, but that will actually be my pre-workout meal. Okay, so very, very similar. That meal will pretty much stay the same, but it will either be post-workout after the morning session or will be pre-workout before the afternoon session. If I've hit that afternoon session and it's like the 2 or 4 p.m, I've likely pre-made a shake, and that's probably because I'm actually at work at the gym doing some sort of coaching. So that will probably look like a scoop of protein, a scoop and a half, so 30, 40 grams away, a banana, probably have some fruits in there, and a little bit of oat milk or something like that. If I hit the morning session, what I would look for after that post-workout meal, because it was probably a little bit bigger, would be some sort of snack. Okay, so that would be like my first sort of snack. It could be a protein bar, could be rice cakes, it could be like a watermelon pot, a pineapple chunk pot, something like that. Keep me satisfied, keep hunger at bay, so on and so on. Like, this is not a great deal of food, I would say, that is throughout the day. I seem to be someone that is always hungrier post-workout, so that's why like all of my food tends to be like loaded towards the back of the day. One thing I know is I eat out a lot. I normally try to find all the local restaurants that do some sort of meals that is close to the gym, that is close to wherever I'm doing whatever I'm doing, that is quite nutritious, that is high protein, that is nice and dense, and that is going to supply and fuel my training and is going to be macro friendly. I would recommend you do that if you want to stay on track for the long run. And then I will move in my evening meal. Now I'll probably not eat all the way from that 4 o'clock mark until 8:30. And this is where I would say the floodgates open. This is always the biggest meal that I have. I do it deliberately. I feel like I like to consume a lot of food after training because I don't feel as sluggish. So it's later at night, it's around 8:30, and this will always notoriously be my biggest meal of the day. So this could be anything from muscle food meatballs and a big load of pasta. That's one of my favorite meals. Again, chicken, big load of pasta in mascarpone sauce. I'll put a photo here. Fajitas, I love fajitas, I use it all the time. So something like that, something that's high protein, that is high carb, it's pretty high calorie, and that is my biggest feed of the full day, always at 8:30 at night. And then after that, the final meal of the day, depending on, I will look at my FitnessPal, I will look at my calories, I will see how much I've got left. Say I've got like 200 to 300 calories. That is when I will just finish off with a snack, and that will be dependent on whatever I'm slacking in. So if I'm slacking on protein, it might be a protein bar, or it might be Greek yogurt with blueberries and a banana, because obviously you're getting a protein hit in there and a little bit of carbs. If I'm slacking just on carbs and I've already hit my protein, which happens to me quite a lot, it's always the carbs, I might just have a bowl of cereal as an extra little bit of carbohydrates just before bed. That'll be like the 9 o'clock mark, 9:30. Or rice cakes or fiber 1 bars or something like that. And then if I'm slacking on fats, something like that, it tends to be that the last final snack will be something like a peanut butter on toast combination. So I sort of pretty much just ballpark my meals throughout the day, make sure that I'm there or thereabouts with high protein, with low calorie dense foods, with good veggies and good carbs, good sources to supply my training. And then the final thing is just right at the end of the night, have some sort of snack that I want, that I fancy, and that is pretty much close to completing my macros. And that is pretty much an average day. That is what I do every single day. I find it really, really easy to track foods. I like tracking because it keeps us on track. It makes us know that if I've potentially had a bad session, it can sometimes be because I've messed up where I've arranged my foods or I've left it too long between meals. And then obviously I know that like not to do that the next time, because that is why I had that bad session. All of these things are things that they're a little bit more advanced. The main thing when it comes to losing weight, gaining weight, is just energy balance. Then when it comes to trying to improve your body composition, energy balance, calories and macros. So making sure that protein, carbs and fats are right. But again, if you want to delve into nutrition, you want to really take the bull by the horns, then doing things like this, thinking about like, all right, I am on shift, so I always train in the day before work. How should I put my food? Oh, I'm a 9 to 5 worker. I always train at 6 o'clock, so there should be no reason for me to be smashing loads of carbs in the morning. Let's try and switch it up. Let's try and make us feel better and have something before I leave the office that's carby, so that my session at 6 o'clock is absolutely amazing. And these are things that I try and think about. So yeah, I think that is pretty much it. I've covered all of my notes that are here. And yeah, if anyone wants any help with nutrition, first of all, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I haven't rambled on and you can actually take something away from this video. Yeah, if you want any nutrition help, we have the nutrition blueprint, which are handwritten on adamcollard.com. So it is everything that I do in terms of nutrition, working out your calories, working out your macros, just finding the structure that you need when it comes to nutrition for the 99% of the population. All of the protocols that I use, including intermittent fasting when I do that sometimes. And yeah, generally, just if you want any help, comment below. I'll try and get back to you. Comment on my Instagram, go and check that out, and give the video a like and a thumbs up. There is a lot more content coming, okay? Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace, love, good night, over and out.